Hello Armaholics, welcome back to Liberation Sahrani episode 7. Again, this is another long overdue episode, but between work and catching the dreaded Rona, I'm going to be quite honest here, I've had to put things on the old back burner, as you can tell by my voice which keeps bloody cutting out. Anyways, onwards we must go. So in the last episode we secured the eastern mountain ranges on the northern peninsula. Between that, the airfield and the stable front line we've established, Headquarters has finally granted us heavy armoured support. A tank platoon is now under our command. The platoon consists of 4 Abrams tanks, 2 are combat ready, 1 is awaiting its crew, and the 4th and final is yet to put its tracks to shore. Our first objective is to secure Bagango's southern approach. A small Russian force has occupied the old ironworks just outside of town. We would have to take the southwestern road from the town and then proceed to a rally point on a reverse slope just outside of the complex. This approach would allow our infantry to quickly overwhelm the Russians without being exposed for too long. Meanwhile, the tanks would stay on the flanks and engage any mobile threats.
Move up.
Solid copy. Ready.
Soldier, 200 meters, front. Man, 100 meters, front. Go! Fall back.
Welcome. Rifleman. Front.
Cover me!
Front. He's down.
Move out! On the move! Cover me! Move out!
18 soldiers. 100 meters. Target down. Hostile down.
Cover me! Covering, go!
I'm covering! Go!
Moving! Cover me!
Now, apart from being compromised relatively early on, it all went to plan really, and after eliminating any immediate threats, I made a breach point into the compound and poured both my squads into the said breach. We did take some casualties, and you might notice some Project Injury mod stuff in the background. I do like the effects of people running around, dragging bodies, crawling, screaming in pain, etc. But I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it. Even after turning the ragdoll and the medical AI off the Recon mod, it's still producing some unusual side effects, especially those with like high command. Any injured squaddies are actually being transferred to a separate high command squad, which does confuse matters when you're trying to plan out an attack. So I'll see how it goes for an episode or two. I might keep it, I might not.
75 meters in front of me. Waiting.
Engage at will.
Okay, let's go.
Cover me.
I need ammo.
Target down.
Go. Cover me.
Ready.
Move.
Seven, join group. 8, join group.
Хорошо. Выдвигайся.
Gotta reload.
Хорошо. Пошли.
Понял.
With the prisoners secured back at the main base, it was now time to turn our attention to objective number 2, the village of Mercelillo and its supporting outpost. The basic plan here was to set up in the old castle tower north-northwest of the objective, whilst the main force would be poised to attack from the northeastern approach.
PC, 400
The approach
meters due
itself
south.
was uneventful, and we soon had eyes on the outpost. It was garrisoned with a BMP, 2 MRAPs and a half-strength Russian squad. I couldn't get any accurate intel on the village. The subtle changes in terrain, combined with the mixture of 1 and 2-storey buildings, made for some awkward viewing. So, just as a precaution, I summoned a rifle squad I had in reserve, along with my second tank. I trusted that this would be enough to tackle whatever the village held. I sent one squad, Alpha 26, to the northern edge of the village, whilst the second squad, Alpha 25, would come in from the east, in effect, pincering the enemy.
Eyes on target.
Weapons free.
My squad opened the event with accurate fire, and along with a quick thrust from one of the Abrams, fire superiority was quickly established over the outpost.
Man, 300 meters. South.
Soldier, 400 meters south.
Rifleman, 300 meters. South. Soldier, 400 meters southeast. EPC, 300 meters south.
Man, machine gunner, 400 meters south.
Waiting. Everett, 400 meters south. Scratch one.
Meanwhile, 2-6 assaulted a stronghold within the village with ruthless efficiency, taking only light casualties but inflicting some heavy ones upon the Russians. Both locations captured, the Russians launch a futile counterattack. It's a poorly executed infantry attack, and despite some worrying RPG strikes, the attack is fended off and the objective is secure.
Medic, 100 meters, back!
We return to our main FOB at Bagango to rearm, repair and plan for Objective 3, the village of Obregan. Our first step was to actually take the farm that lay west of the village.
Out of ammo.
Engage at will!
The farm fell with little resistance. We regrouped and looked east towards the village. Now the village of Obregan looked unremarkable on the map, but as we drew closer we could see the roads were flanked either side by heavy vegetation, not all too dissimilar to bocage or bocage-like terrain in Normandy. It was great for a concealed advance, but that worked both ways. Sight lines were absolutely rubbish, so intel was sketchy at best. Another problem that we faced was the mutually supported positions from different farmsteads, an outpost and the village itself. My squad advanced right behind the Abrams tank in staggered column. The tank then made a few spots en route and began firing as it advanced down the road. A supporting rifle squad to the north, Alpha 3-1, mirrored our own axis of advance. We soon began taking what seemed like 40mm grenade fire. I withdrew about 50 metres to let things settle down. It wasn't enough though. My small fire team starts dropping and our tank gets into some serious trouble taking fire from an unknown threat. fire is that intense the crew is forced to bail. I do make small inroads to the village with my remaining fire team and tank crew. Alpha 3-1 actually finds the aforementioned unknown threat. It's a BMP in a nasty hull down position, and 3-1 is cut to pieces before they can even react. I send in my remaining Abrams tank, who scores a hit on the BMP, but not before it gets off its own rounds. The second Abrams, like the first, is now dead in the water.
On the way.
It's a spectacular failure. For the next hour I lick my wounds, retrieve our transport vehicles, and reorganise back at FOB Bravo. I now assemble a fresh force, the third tank from our current armoured platoon, an M113 loaded with a half-strength rifle squad, an anti-tank squad, and finally myself with a versatile fire team. We mount up and proceed to the northern outskirts of Obregan.
No can do.
Disembark.
Solid copy.
Whilst conducting some recon, I am spotted by a Russian patrol. The game is up and the attack begins.
Tank, 300 meters south.
response to our initial success, a Russian T-90 hammers down the MSR and rips apart my Abrams. The attack yet again stalls to a screaming halt.
Reloading!
Not wanting to lose the initiative I've just gained, I hastily assembled reinforcements from what little manpower I had left, and call in our only A-10 to deal with the T-90 threat. Meanwhile, I would personally ferry the reinforcements via Chinook right back into the heart of the AO.
Changing bags! Got one! Contact, man! Machine gunner, 75 meters, to the right of us. 100 meters to the right.
Contact! Soldier! Gotta reload!
Despite further casualties, the village and the supporting military installation finally succumbs to our assault.
Rifleman, 400 meters, south!
I'm covering! Go! 6. Attack that gun.
Our final objective of the day was to secure 2 farmsteads south of Obregan. Whilst not seemingly important, they were 2 strongholds out of many that littered the road south, all close enough to provide a deadly crossfire that would break up any NATO advance. They had to be dealt with. Luckily, the 4th and final Abrams from the tank platoon had finally come ashore, and it would prove invaluable to our forthcoming efforts. The gentle rolling terrain made it perfect for the infantry and tank to leapfrog each other across the countryside. The tank itself scored some impressive kills as we advanced south. My rifle squad used bound in overwatch on its final assault on the Obregan farmhouse. The assault itself succeeded and left none alive.
Move 100 meters. Front.
Copy that. Target in sight. Fire.
Fire at will. Machine gun. Medic. There's 165.
Hostile down.
Fall back.
We'll go. Man, 700 meters. Southeast. On the move.
Okay, let's go!
Go! I'll cover! Stay low! Get down!
Moving!
5. Attack that gunship. West. 6. Sit rep.
We got a man down.
Cover me! Halt!
Understood.
Gunship! 600 meters! West!
In the open field between Obregan Farm and Modesta, our Abrams tank came under heavy fire. I immediately ordered it to withdraw to the relative safety of the Obregan farmhouse buildings. But it was too late. It suffers a rear hit, and the impact is seemingly enough to force one of the crew out of the tank. Luckily, I managed to effect repairs with an engineer I had brought with me. With the crew nowhere to be seen, it fell upon my fire team to crew the tank and spur on our final push to secure the Modesta farm. With the objectives secure and nightfall setting in, it was time to RTB. Today's action was decisive but very, very costly, the loss of 3 tanks and nearly a platoon's worth of infantry. But the road to Corazol had been opened, and with it, the chance to fully secure northern Sahrani. Hello guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed episode 7. I do apologise if the dialogue sounds a bit weak or rough. I'm over most of my symptoms now, but COVID is definitely here to the bitter end, and my own version of KP Liberation is taking place in my body, it seems. Support myself and the channel by liking, subscribing and commenting. Whether it's good or bad, let me know guys. Anywho, I'm back into work tomorrow and it's the middle of the British holiday season, so content may remain light for the next few weeks. As always, I'll do my best to keep it at least 1 video a week. So there's nothing much more to say apart from I'll see you over in the next one, and bye!